when he was very young in this sport. Chris Bey since day one.
Yes.
How would you compare Chris Bey, his mindset, to Kenny King when Kenny started?
Let me tell you something. I met Kenny right after Tough Enough and didn't realize how, I wouldn't say the word unskilled, but he had no experience. He was a long way away. On television, they make you look good if they want to. And Kenny, I thought, was like, wow, he should have got the contract. He never did. But you know what? He was the only guy who didn't win that went out there and made himself. And he's probably had the best career, other than, say, a John Morrison, of all the guys who ever won Tough Enough. Kenny King, he had to take the hard road and became FIP down in Florida, which led him to his job in Ring of Honor, which got him in at TNA, and now back into the Ring of Honor.
And exactly, and Chris Bey, we know his future's bright. He's going to go as far as he wants. Scorpio Sky, he's been tremendous. He's competed on the East Coast. He's competed on the West Coast. He's made a name for himself on both sides of the country.
You know, and it's crazy. Chris Bey, you know, he's done tremendous things. Scorpio Sky, we've talked on numerous occasions, and we finally got him as part of FSW. And since that occurred, he's really skyrocketed. You know, a guy who's been in the business a long time, we saw him a global force, you know, and he's done some great things, but over the last year, it's probably been the most successful year professionally for Scorpio Sky.
Yeah, now that he's dedicated himself to this sport, Scorpio Sky, he can go as far as he wants also. And he can go after Chris Bey, get this action started hot.
Oh, and look at this, Scorpio Sky. And we always talk about the athleticism of Chris Bey. Oh, and look at that, nails him with a drop kick.
Ultimately, would you say that Kenny King is Chris Bey's trainer?
That is true.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people have their hands in Chris Bey's talents and success in molding him, but Kenny King has taken a license to him.
At the anniversary show, Kenny King came out and specifically spotlighted Chris Bey and then worked a tag team match where they went out and won.
And they sent some guys packing back to Tennessee.
That's
Hopefully
right.
we see them again, though.
Maybe, maybe not. I think Scorpio Sky is maybe taking a breather.
He doesn't like to be double teamed. I don't blame him. We just saw a four-way, a three-way. It's even more awkward sometimes when you're trying to get some offense in.
Kenny always got that big smile on his face, always happy to be here. He loves working for his hometown crowd here in Las Vegas.
Well, the smile's disappearing thanks to Chris Bey.
You know, the truth of the matter, Kenny King is exclusive to Ring of Honor, but he specifically put it in his contract. Oh, look at that. Specifically put in his contract that he wouldn't sign an exclusive unless he could continue working for FSW.
That's a really cool thing for Kenny King to do, to remember his roots in this sport. Scorpio Sky likes to state the obvious.
Looked like Scorpio Sky maybe trying to schmooze the crowd a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that man with his ego does not like to be booed by the audience. Oh, look at that. Chris Bey, great athleticism. Taking him over with a twisting cross body block, but doesn't get Scorpio.
Oh, and look at that. Out of nowhere, the big shot to the jaw, the veteran Scorpio Sky.
Innovative offense.
Yes, no guardrails, almost taking out the first row.
We don't need him.
Just at that more intimate.
Yeah. We should get the rope like the Sportatorium.
Yes. Oh, and look at that. Looks like Scorpio Sky biting Kenny King's ear toward the top of his head. You know, I heard there was no catering today.
Well, that explains his hunger. His hunger to win, his hunger for ears, all that stuff. Oh, right in the buckle goes Kenny.
Very awkwardly also.
Yeah, definitely had to jar his back, and Scorpio now in firm control of this, measuring up King.
Oh, and look at that.
Expect your letter in the mail when this gets released.
Yes. Out of nowhere, Chris Bey, he wasn't even paying attention to him.
Oh, man.
Hey, every man for himself. Kenny may like Chris Bey, but, you know, he wants to probably teach the youngster a lesson. Maybe slow down just a little bit.
He likes him. He doesn't like him that much that he's going to throw the match.
Absolutely not. And Scorpio Sky teaming with Kazarian and Christopher Daniels, capturing the Ring of Honor six-man tags Friday night.
slowing down the pace now, Scorpio. Scorpio's had a rough weekend. So is Kenny, both already competing in some.
Kenny King retained his television title by defeating Silas Young, and they got called out by Austin Aries. So Kenny has a very busy schedule in it. Look at this. Sky's got him up.
Yeah, both these men have had some high-level competition this weekend. Oh, double clothesline. Chris Bey just literally landed right before this event started, coming in from Miami. All three men have given themselves to pro wrestling this weekend, and who's going to come out on top in this one?
And listen to the crowd. They're liking what they see here at the Cannery Casino. Jam-packed.
Chris Bey's got his cheering section, but he can't get back in the ring.
And right now, the Ring of Honor champions going at it. The television champion and the six-man tag champion, Scorpio Sky and Kenny King. Pretty much the king of Las Vegas and the king of SoCal. Yeah. And Chris Bey trying to put himself into that mix.
Just exchanging shots right now. Who's got more to give in this one? Who's got more fire inside of them?
And look at that, the boot. Both nailing each other in the jaw. Chris Bey off the top with the double clothesline.
And here's where Chris Bey's got to take advantage of it. Didn't catch all of them with that single leg drop kick. Great intensity and speed out of Chris Bey on those European uppercuts. They're trying the monkey flip. Kenny King saw it coming.
Oh, and look at that. He gets the foot up again, and they're trying to take Chris Bey out of the top rope.
This is where Chris Bey's dangerous. Moonsault body block out of him, Chavo Guerrero style.
1, 2. And once again, only a 2 count. Chris Bey trying to put away Scorpio Sky and steal the victory against Kenny King.
And look at Chris Bey. He knows what this matchup means to him. He's got to come out on top. He's got to solidify himself as one of the best in the independents. Oh, God!
And look at that, driving the knee into the jaw. Kenny King, the double stomp on Chris Bey.
That double stomp was wicked.
Well, looks like he's trying to choke out Kenny.
Scorpio Sky will take the shortcuts to win. He's cool with it. SoCal way. And a rolling enziguri out of Chris Bey. Caught Scorpio right in the back of the head, and now his sights are set on Kenny, his mentor in this sport.
Well, look at this. Kenny reverses it. Chris Bey over the... Oh, maybe a little cocky right there, the youngster.
Maybe he shouldn't have took the time to flex.
I think that cost him.
But Kenny King thought he had it, so Chris Bey is still in this fight. Look at Kenny King now, not going after Chris Bey, going after Scorpio. Oh wait, never mind. He's just gone to the outside, setting something up to try and put away Chris Bey.
Kenny is waiting, perched on the outside of the canvas as Chris Bey is slowly getting to his feet.
This will be a lot of trouble for Chris. But there's Scorpio Sky. Not letting Kenny take to the air. Oh, God, he caught him. But that allowed Chris Bey an opening. Chris Bey's going to add an element of risk to this matchup.
He's going over the top. Oh, and look at the athleticism, Chris Bey.
Tope con hilo.
With plenty to spare.
Takes them both out, does some damage to himself. We're going to see if it's worth it. Was that risk worth it? Gets Kenny back in, that's all he needs. He's got to go for the cover. Be huge for him to pin his mentor.
Look at that, only a 2 count.
Now,
right now, the question is who is going to walk away with the victory tonight? Chris Bey he has proven he can hang with the big boys.
Yeah, he can hang with them. One more high-impact move, though. He might be able to beat one of them, though. Oh, look at this. Chris Bey leveled by King. Here comes Scorpio. Slingshot. Diamond cutter.
Oh, look at that. Right to the jaw. Down goes Scorpio Sky.
Now Chris Bey begging his opponent to get up. Maybe that's the experience. Maybe he should go for the cover on his downed opponents. Allowing both men to get to their feet now. Chris Bey gets a full, no, goes springing up, but he gets caught. Great strength out of Kenny King.
Not this time. Oh, look at that.
Swinging backbreaker. Scorpio goes to the eyes.
And he's got him up. The Royal Flush. 1, 2, 3, and there it is. And the Ring of Honor Television Champion is victorious tonight. Chris Bey gave a great effort, but he's not yet there.
He's not yet there, and one day he will be. But Kenny King tonight remains the King of Vegas.
And Sky has got up Chris Bey. Oh, beautiful backbreaker.
And now just stretching out Chris Bey. Not only did he drive his knee into the back, he's now stretching out all the muscles and ligaments.
You know, I'm not used to the two monitors, Jake. I'm trying to watch over the monitor when I can look right at it.
I am, too. I mean, monitor when needed. It's great that it's here, but I like to see the action in the ring. We're so close. We got the best seat.
That's absolutely.
Thanks to everybody who ordered this on Fight TV.
And look at that, exchanging the forearms. And Chris Bey comes back with the big left hand.
Bey is rocked, but he's not done. Firing away with a European uppercut.
And right now, Chris Bey, 1, 2.
Spinning back fist out of Chris Bey, getting a full head of steam.
And the flying clothesline, and once again, another drop kick. And right now, Scorpio Sky is reeling, but the reversal.
Chris Bey, though, rolling in and hits it, rolling into Guri. Takes down Scorpio Sky.
And this is our first match of the night. Nobody expected to see Chris Bey here. He was going to be challenging for the FSW No Limits title. But opportunities, you never know when they're going to come, Jake. And right now it's a chance for him to take advantage and upset that Ring of Honor superstar.
Stinger splash out of Bey, but Bey holds on. Scorpio tries reversal. Bey tried to kick. Scorpio dodges, but he gets taken over.
1, 2.
Code Red doesn't put him away. At least
And
from my vantage point.
And it looked like Chris Bey was going to advance, but Scorpio Sky somehow managed to kick out before the 3.
And now Chris Bey saying it's time to put Scorpio Sky to sleep. Chris Bey wants to make that 4-way final. Oh, inside cradle out of Scorpio. Almost caught him off guard. Stole the victory. Oh, vicious double stomp to the spine. Scorpio goes back at slingshot. Slingshot diamond
And this
cutter.
has got to be it. 1, 2, 3. No.
And still not enough. Scorpio Sky is shocked. He knows the level of talent that Chris Bey brings into every fight, but he expected to put away Chris Bey with that one.
And the crowd, they're trying to get behind. I'm not sure if it's Sky or Chris Bey.
It's going to be a little bit of both. Scorpio Sky's got a hot thing going with SCUs. Chris Bey, one of the perennial favorites out here.
Oh, look at that. Chris Bey.
And he catches Scorpio once again. Rocks him, but doesn't send him down.
And Chris Bey.
Old school style tornado DDT.
1, 2.
And once again, not enough to put away Scorpio Sky. Great match, kicking things off here at the Mecca 3 as the crowd trying to get behind Chris Bey and see if he can shock the world and become the Mecca Grand Champion.
Could be Chris Bey's night, but it's going to be a long night because he still has to deal with Scorpio Sky. He gets caught.
And look at this. Sky's got him. Oh.
What a damn spine buster. And now wrenching him with a Boston Crab.
Chris Bey, does he have enough?
Oh, God, now he's got it fully locked in. Chris Bey is at a heinous angle.
Oh, and look at that. He got a chance to be able to wiggle out a little bit. Now he's just got to reach for the rope, and he gets there just in time.
Yeah, Chris Bey was able to will himself to that bottom rope, but that back has been worked over in this matchup, and that Boston Crab Lion Tamer did him no favors. Scorpio Sky taking the time to develop a game plan in his head on how he's going to put away Chris Bey.
You know, what a great matchup to kick things off here. Fight TV, the Mecca 3. And this is just the first match.
Yeah, the opening round, opening match of the night. Scorpio Sky momentarily had him in a bear hug, but Chris Bey able to escape. Oh, and once again, oh no, Chris Bey countered that time.
And it looked like it was the power bomb, but no.
He kidmaned his way out of it.
You know, Scorpio Sky, he is on the other side of the ring. Is Chris Bey really going to try to go for a frog splash?
Well, Chris Bey has got to end this one as quick as possible. The damage has been done to his back. He's got to go high risk and hope for the high reward. Scorpio dodged it, but Bey able to recover, landing on his feet. Chris Bey once again. Oh no, he gets caught. And driven down right on that back once again from that Frankensteiner.
Desperation move. Scorpio Sky connects. And he is looking to finish off the FSW Rookie of the Year.
Oh no! He slingshotted himself right into that super kick. Chris Bey's got to do it now. Back handspring cutter.
The cover. 1, 2, 3,
Oh,
and there it is. Chris Bey, a man who was not supposed to be in the tournament, is the first one
your winner of the
to
match
be going
and
into the finals.
To the finals, Chris Bey.
And the
following contest is your main event of the evening. A triple threat match scheduled for one fall with a 1 hour time limit. And it's for the FSW Mecca Grand Championship. Your referee, head official, Austin Grimes. Introducing first, participant number 1, standing in the corner across from me, weighing in at 171 pounds, from Bay Area AVA, the ultimate finesser, Chris Bey! And introducing his opponent, standing in the corner to my right, weighing in at 275 pounds, hailing from Chico, California, the Machine, Brian Cage!
Who needs Conor McGregor? We got these guys, Jake.
And introducing their opponent, standing in the corner to my left, hailing from Slamtown, USA, weighing in at 219 pounds, Johnny Mecca!
very interesting matchup here.
Definitely 3 different guys with 3 different styles.
And 3 different men at different points in their career when you get down to it. Chris Bey, he's fresh in this sport. Brian Cage is just making his name worldwide and internationally over the last few years. And Johnny Mecca has really been an established star in this business for about 12, 13 years now.
And I have to say, these is a resurgence. You know, over the last 3 or 4 years, Johnny Mecca has re-exploded on the scene. AAA, he's a star. Impact Wrestling, he's a star. Lucha Underground, you know, usually they're not afforded these opportunities, but in the new day and age of wrestling, this guy can travel to some of the best promotions in the world. And Johnny Mecca's already wrestled once like all these guys. You know, it's good to have that attitude. Some guys, a second match, they're exhausted.
Yeah, I mean, all these men are in tremendous condition. That's going to be very helpful here. You got to figure, though, Chris Bey is the hungriest of the three. But that could work against him. Brian Cage busting on the national wrestling scene. Oh, no! Chris Bey has just been busted.
What a back body drop, and look at this.
Huge exploder out of Brian Cage.
You know, no doubt about it. I got to admit, I miss seeing Brian Cage here in an FSW ring. He is such a talented dude.
Well, bring him in more.
Oh, yeah.
That's simple, I'm sure. I'm sure he doesn't have a busy schedule.
No, not at all.
Oh, look at the height Chris Bey got. Mecca and Chris Bey smartly working together to try and put away Brian Cage, sending him to the outside.
And there's no doubt the dynamics of this match has changed. Going into 20 minutes ago, they all thought it was going to be a 4-way elimination match.
Oh, Chris Bey trying to steal it.
And now anything like this can happen, and they're the champ. They're the winner.
Exactly. There's no more Steiner math on your odds of winning. It's just finding an opening and getting in there and taking it.
How about this? Chris Bey got here today and expected to work in a 5-way no-limits title match. And after the day began, he just beat Scorpio Sky, and now he's in the ring with Brian Cage and Johnny Mecca.
It's been a wild ride, Chris Bey's entire career.
You know, I think win or lose, he's got to be pretty happy with this opportunity.
Yeah, and this has got to be the craziest night of his career, especially no matter what, like you said, but especially if he walks away with that championship and that trophy. Super kick.
And Chris Bey connects. The question is,
John Blue drop kick.
As a guy as young as Chris Bey, you know, is he going to be thinking about who he's in the ring with? Is it going to affect what he would normally do?
Chris Bey almost has to go in with blinders, though. He shouldn't be thinking about the experience of Mecca or Cage. He should be thinking about what he has to do to try and win that championship. Rolling in. Oh, no! That was insane.
And Chris Bey almost pulled off the upset of the century until Brian Cage just kicked him in the mouth.
Yeah, Brian Cage isn't going to let an upset happen on his watch. Brian Cage thought he was going to be able to destroy 3 other men and eliminate them from competition tonight. But instead, he's got to try to do it in one fall to be the Mecca Grand Champion.
You know, I'm pretty sure Brian Cage wants to take this kid to school. What do you think?
Oh, I think so. I think Brian Cage wants to go nuts.
You know, Brian Cage saw how long it took for him to get to the top of the mountain. A guy like Chris Bey's barely been in the business 2 years.
Trying to cave in the chest of Chris Bey.
Shades of Ric Flair, Brian Cage. He's having a lot of fun out there tonight.
He is. Oh, well, that's not fun. Nor is that. Oh, well, here comes the powerhouse. He's got him.
Uh-oh.
Sit out, concrete crash.
1, 2. Wow. Chris Bey kicked out of that.
Chris Bey, he had to kick out of it. He knows what's at stake here.
All right, on the jaw, Johnny Mecca.
He just absorbed it.
Into a Russian leg sweep. And the leg drop by Johnny Mecca as Chris Bey. Is he going for the picture-perfect elbow?
think so. He's framing him up.
Vinny Vegas. And look at
that comparison we made. Oh, and he catches him right in the back.
Oh, and he dropped him right on his head.
Sliding German underneath the ropes.
The king of parkour, Johnny Mecca.
He's going to try to use the Starship Pain again. It's how he won his first round matchup. Oh no, he goes all the way up, flips over Bey.
Oh, and look at this. Mecca's got them both.
Moonlight drive.
1, 2.
In stereo.
1, 2.
And I think for the first time in all three men's careers, they might not be the most athletic man in the match they're competing in. All three of them can make the case for who's the most athletic.
The Mecca 3 Mecca Grand Champion is going to be crowned. Teddy Hart may have blown out his knee in his victory over PJ Black. We've turned this into a three-way dance. One pin wins.
Oh, and once again, Chris Bey avoids being powerbombed for the second time tonight.
And Chris Bey hanging with the big boys tonight. He's at the adult table tonight. And Brian Cage wants all the food.
Oh no, Chris Bey once again escaping a powerbomb, firing away. Oh no!
And the standing double stomp, I guess we call it.
Yeah, he just rode Brian Cage down, and now Chris Bey ascending upstairs. He's got that Mecca title in his grasp. He's just got to hit something big on Brian Cage, but he wipes out. He misses the frog splash. Crashing and burning.
And Chris Bey, he was going for broke. He knew if he hit that, he had the chance to be the Mecca Grand Champion.
All three men are down. Giving their heart and souls tonight in the Mecca Grand Championship tournament.
And look at this. Morrison, Mecca, whatever we call him this week, him and Cage firing back and forth.
Both men just slugging it out center of the ring. Oh, Brian Cage catch him with a European uppercut. Morrison flying in there with that shot. Is the title Brian Cage's? No, he gets caught.
Oh, and look at that. Brian Cage catches him.
And I think both of those men thought, oh no.
And Cage caught them both.
That man is incredible.
He's
not a man, that's right.
That's right, a machine, the strongest man in professional wrestling right there, Brian Cage. In the biggest crowd in FSW history, defeated Matt Hardy right here in a TLC match.
I think everybody agrees. Everybody except John Morrison and Chris Bey. Oh, whoa! Whoa!
And Chris Bey reverses it.
Chris Bey reverses it, but John Morrison is the one taking advantage
The
of
cover,
it.
1, 2, 3.
Your winner of the match and new FSW Mecca Grand Champion, Johnny Mecca.
It's a clean sweep for the Mecca family.
I guess so.
Taya Mecca and Johnny Mecca, champions tonight here in FSW.
2018. It started as a catchphrase, that ended up being the title to this West Coast love story. All my life, I've salivated at the opportunity to step in the ring and call myself a star. And against all odds, I did that. Welcome to Future Stars of Wrestling. I am the ultimate finesser, Chris Bey, and I'm going to tell you a story that does not have a happy ending. Yet. 2 years ago, I moved to Sin City to put all my sins behind me and create something that was bigger than myself. And in 2016, at Against All Odds, I made my casino debut in the Rumble. And I thought I made it. I thought I was in. Last year, Against All Odds, I started the show, relinquishing my tag team championships, entered the Rumble, won the Rumble, and I faced Hammerstone in the main event for the FSW Heavyweight Championship. And I couldn't beat Hammerstone. Most people can't. But this year, my year, not just by catchphrase or title or design, but because I've put in the work to become the ultimate version of myself. This year alone, I started the year becoming the FSW No Limits champion. I stole the show at the 9-year anniversary.
Holy hell, Chris Bey busting out the big time high-flying offense.
And I became a tag team champion for the second time. This time with my brother Swede. So it's time to write this final chapter in the book that is 2018. That means that I have to enter the Rumble and beat 24 guys, then I'll do it again. That means I have to go into the main event and beat Hammerstone, then I'll do that for the first time. Last year I was a little too eager, a little too excited, a little too new for the opportunity. But this year, I know what you can do, and I know how to finesse. It's a story that will be told for centuries to come, and it will read, and new Future Stars of Wrestling Heavyweight Champion of the World, the ultimate finesser, Chris Bey. And the date that will be beside it, December 14th, and the year was 2018. Against all odds.
Champion, you have Hammerstone, champion, you have Chris Bey, he won last year, and now you have Shogun Jones, and you got to think, he's showing all the tools right now. Is tonight going to be his night?
We are down to the final four. Shogun, who started at 3.
Did I win? Did I win?
You're close.
Almost.
Final 5. I think that's a basketball term.
You got robbed.
So we have the 2 most dominant men in this matchup thus far, Fatu and Shoguns. The Bag Boys, the Final 4. One of these men will challenge for the championship tonight. And Sway Thompson dared him to come in, and he gets caught. Chris Bey and Shogun, who've been going at it all matchup now.
This would be one hell of a tag team match right now. Oh, and now goes Chris Bey, huge clothesline. Shogun Jones looking to go almost coast to coast.
Joe, you got to be wondering the same thing that I am. If Chris Bey and Sway Thompson are able to work together to get these 2 monsters out of here, where do they go from there?
You know, that's going to be a big question. Maybe they're going to flip a coin.
And look at this, once again.
Sefa Fatu.
They want to know who's the
Probably
real
been
dominant
in FSW
athlete.
About 4 months, but he has quickly made a huge name for himself. And let me tell you something, I'd pay to watch these 2 guys go at it.
We're going to find out who the alpha of this battle royal's been so far. Uranagi had a Shogun, and Sefa Fatu is down. He didn't do that one for The Rock.
And Bey and Sway, they are able to maybe regain some strength, as Shogun is the first guy to get Sefa off his feet like that.
But Chris Bey lowering the bridge, hanging up Shogun Jones, and he's got to pounce on this and eliminate Shogun.
Shogun Jones has been eliminated.
And we are down to the final 3. Bey, Suede, Sefa Fatu.
Who's it gonna be? Jesus! And that was a message to the champ. But he doesn't see the CEO of Swaderade behind him. And the CEO loses his position.
And Sefa drills Suede Thompson. But can Sefa Fatu overcome the bag boys?
Well, I don't know if he can overcome them, but he's got them both exactly where he wants them. With that dangerous Samoan hip attack.
Let me tell you something, Hammerstone. Here's a guy who's got size, power, strength. Maybe that's why they want to see this guy, because they think he's the one who might have the shot to beat you.
You know what else he has? He has a gas tank that is close to running on empty. He's blowing his load in this match, Joe, and meanwhile Hammerstone is sitting back, relaxing, and at a full tank. Let's be real.
And right now, Suede and Bey working together.
Oh, but he holds on.
And Sefa Fatu, it looks like he was gone.
And there's that tandem offense of the bag boys.
Sefa Fatu has been eliminated.
But only one of these men can challenge Hammerstone tonight. Who's going to win the Rumble?
And listen to the crowd. They are unhappy that Sefa Fatu.
Get him, Sefa. Sally almost found him.
What a performance. One of the best performances we've ever seen here in a Rumble match.
Sally almost found himself back in the title picture, but more importantly now, we're down to the final 2, and it's 2 best friends and former FSW Tag Team Champions.
Oh, and look at this.
Reversal out of Suede. These two men know each other better than any 2 men in that FSW locker room.
And Hammerstone, he has had his battles with both men.
Here's the thing. You look at these guys on social media, they look like me and my girlfriend do. So you got to think they know each other. They look at this. Watch this. They're going to go counter for counter for counter. This could go wild, Joe.
And the shoulder block, Suede. Oh, nice shot to the head.
Innovative offense out of Suede, trying to get the knockout shot so he can hurl Chris over.
Nice European uppercut, connects.
Hey, Suede Thompson does not want to be referred to as Chris Bey's buddy anymore. Look at that, taking out the knees. Double stomp to the spine.
And Chris Bey, he feels that this is his time. One of the biggest rising stars in the business today wants another shot at Hammerstone and the gold.
And
One more year's experience from this kid.
And Suede Thompson evades it, but he's got to follow up.
Oh, look at that, right to the jaw.
But he doesn't love that. Rolling in. Holy hell.
And learn from his mentor, Teddy Hart.
Oh, no. And he catches him in a Death Valley bomb.
What a counter from Suede Thompson.
Hammerstone is right. These men are going to be spent by the time they challenge him later tonight for that title.
What a way to kick things off here at Against All Odds. The question is, whoever wins this match, do they have anything left to go after one of the best and longest reigning heavyweight champions in FSW's history?
All I'm doing, Joe, is counting the bumps that these men are taking. Bang, bang, bang. Every time you hear that noise, that is one less time I'm going to have to slam them into the mat before I can put them down.
And now both of these guys trying to get their 3rd or 4th win of the day. because they're going to need it if they advance into the main event.
And Swade Thompson throws the first slap.
These people are oohing and ahhing for slaps after Canadian destroyers.
Hell of a chop out of Chris Bey, but Swade Thompson once more.
I'm pretty sure Hammerstone's wishing this match goes another 30, 40 minutes.
Oh. And look at Swade Thompson stringing together those strikes, but Chris Bey leaping in the air with that hard knee. He's got Swade rocked, but Swade right behind him almost eliminates him.
And he followed him, and Swade looks like he had it.
Oh, man!
Swade Thompson has been eliminated. Your winner of the match and earning an FSW heavyweight title shot, Chris Bey!
And Chris Bey does it again. He wins the Rumble and now will challenge Hammerstone for the FSW Heavyweight Championship in our main event tonight.
You can call this deja vu. Second year in a row, Chris Bey wins the Rumble. But will it be deja vu once again in the main event when Bey challenges Hammerstone for the title? Because will Hammerstone walk out with the gold still as the reigning champion a second year in a row?
And Hammerstone looks like he's congratulating Chris Bey after a very hard-earned victory.
All right, wrestling fans, the following contest is for the FSW Heavyweight Championship. Scheduled for one fall with a 60-minute time limit. Your referee, Austin Grimes. Introducing first, the challenger. Standing in the corner to my left, weighing in at 165 pounds, from Bay Area, ABA, the ultimate finesser, Chris Bey! And introducing his opponent, standing to the corner to my right, weighing in at 240 pounds, from Phoenix, Arizona, he is the reigning and defending FSW Heavyweight Champion, the Business Hammerstone!
And we are ready. Main event time. The heavyweight title is on the line here at Against All Odds. A man who had won the 26-person Rumble, Chris Bey, gets his second opportunity at the heavyweight champion.
And for Chris Bey, it's been quite a year. He won the No Limits Championship back at No Escape in January, lost it seconds later because Nick Bugatti picked that exact moment to cash in the case. Won the tag team championships, but it was a short reign for him and his buddy Swade Thompson. And then finding himself once again winning the Against All Odds Battle Royal and challenging Hammerstone for the championship. And it's a different Hammerstone than last year also.
Now my question to you, Jake, Hammerstone sat here and he watched Chris Bey, probably in the match about 30 minutes. Do you think he wants this match to go longer? Or do you think he just wants to try to put him away as quick as possible?
Oh, well, I think Hammerstone's objective is always to try to put away his opponent as quickly as possible. But sometimes it takes a lot. And look, that's going to be the strength advantage for Chris Bey. Strikes quick to try and get Hammerstone, but Hammerstone reverses again. Chris Bey takes out the knee of Hammerstone. Double stomp out of the challenger. Going for that victory right now. And Chris Bey. I don't know if he thought he could beat Hammerstone with that, or he's just testing to see how worn down the champion is. But Chris Bey trying to catch him again with a quick roll-up.
Oh, over the top, but Bey lands on his feet.
And then he just kicks him in the back of the skull. Chris Bey riding the champ and sends him down with a double stomp, and the champion retreats to the outside. But who knows if he's safe out there, because here comes Chris Bey.
Hammerstone stepping out of the way, but look at that, underneath, and Bey connects.
Connects with a kick right to the face. He's trying a Liger flip, but look at that power. That is one of the reasons. Oh my God, drops him hard with the suplex. That is one of the reasons for the last 21 months the world title scene has revolved around Hammerstone. With Chris Bey on the outside, Hammerstone could try to get in the ring, beat the count, or retain the title that way.
And Hammerstone, once again, being very methodical. He knows, one slip up and Chris Bey can become the heavyweight champion.
And that's the exact opposite thing that Hammerstone wants. There was a slip up earlier this year where Jody the Wrestler became the champion, and it took Hammerstone weeks to correct that in his mind. Oh, and he drives Bey face first into the steel. I'll say it, Hammerstone was actually smart to break the count and keep Bey on the outside so he could dish out more punishment and inflict more damage to the challenger.
Plus, he can't lose the title on the outside.
No, he can't.
And it's been a great year for Hammerstone. He's beaten Willie Mack here in a TLC. He defeated Moose. He's defeated Sami Callihan.
It's been an awesome year for Chris Bey, like I said. I mean, besides the accolades of winning those 2 championships, he also found himself in the finals of the Mecca Grand Championship tournament.
Hammerstone was victorious, in his debut for Impact Wrestling.
But Hammerstone's changed ever since he just kicked Taya in the face at Beers and Body Slams last month.
Many people thought we were going to see Hammerstone versus Taya in a title-for-title match.
I mean, should he retain, it could still happen. She's not going to back down from that match.
Not at all. No escape is only 1 month away. The question is, who's going to be inside the cage?
Who's going to be the world champion? Will it be Hammerstone? Still, will he leave 2018 the way he entered it, with the title? Look at Chris Bey once again trying to score a quick pinfall victory. And Hammerstone now, almost like a horror movie walk towards Chris Bey before he got caught. But look at that overhead belly-to-belly launch. And Chris Bey is down.
And Hammerstone is just taking his time.
Yeah,
he's in no rush, and you would think this would be the time to pounce.
Yeah, he's almost like taking in the hushed silence of the crowd rather than go for the cover immediately. Look at this. He's trying to pick up Chris Bey by the hair. Because he's walking.
I was going to say, it looks like he's practicing with like 20-pound curls or something.
Yeah, he's just walking around with them. And once again, brings him up and over, and he goes for the cover this time.
And Hammerstone gets a 2, but not a 3. Hammerstone, he is looking at some records here in FSW with some victories tonight. As one of the longest reigning champions in FSW history in terms of days over his 2-time run.
And look at this, Hammerstone now running at Chris Bey, but he catches the foot Chris Bey fighting out of it. Rolling in now with an enziguri, but he doesn't take the champion down.
He may not have taken him down, but Hammerstone might be a little unsure of where he is.
Oh, Chris Bey able to send Hammerstone to the outside. Got out of the way, the full impact of the body of Hammerstone charging at him. Now Chris Bey daring the champion to re-enter.
Oh, and look at that.
Chris Bey.
You know, not showing very much sportsmanship right there.
Do you think Hammerstone wouldn't have done the same thing, though? Hung him up and dropped him down with the DDT.
1, 2.
Chris Bey a little surprised he wasn't able to put away Hammerstone there.
And we got some of the crowd trying to get behind Chris Bey, looking to become the FSW heavyweight champion.
Like I said, it was deja vu when Chris Bey won the Against All Odd Rumble. But will it be deja vu at the conclusion of this match once again with Hammerstone retaining the championship? And Hammerstone catches Chris Bey.
We've been in a bad spot tonight. We could be needing some new equipment.
No.
And Hammerstone looking for the superplex.
Delaying it too, showing off his power. But Chris Bey slips behind, using the leverage he has to bring Hammerstone over to the German suplex.
And can Chris Bey do it?
Springboard crusher out of Chris Bey. Hammerstone retreats to the outside where he can't be defeated for the title.
The crowd was looking to see Chris Bey make a cover. They thought he was going to be the champion, but Hammerstone, the experience.
And Chris Bey took a lot out of himself with that. Finally feeling the energy from the fans. Brings Chris Bey back to life. Tope con heel. Oh, wow.
And it looks like Chris Bey may have hit the edge of the apron. And that's not in a good way.
Not at all. We're seeing movement out of Chris Bey. Hammerstone's been taken down by the challenger.
And both men are down.
Yeah, that was supposed to be for Hammerstone to be taken out by Bey.
We don't want this match to end in a double count out.
No, you don't. But who's going to get up first here? Chris Bey, he should be the one in control. But one slight miscue was what cost him.
I was going to say Chris Bey better get in the ring because he would have thrown Hammerstone in and he would have won by count out because Bey threw him in.
Yeah, Chris Bey is definitely not 100% with it right now. He can't be physically after that grueling battle royal and then working a second matchup. Oh no, he's been caught. Right in the torture rack position for the stomp. Oh no. Sitting out with him.
1, 2.
And Chris Bey barely gets the shoulder up. A little bit of kick out behind that too.
And Hammerstone thought it was all over. He thought the match was won. Getting ready to enjoy the new year with the FSW Heavyweight Championship.
Now Hammerstone trying to intimidate referee Grimy, tell him that was a 3 count. But Hammerstone still has some weapons in his arsenal to try and defeat Chris Bey to retain the title. The 2018 thing's really got to be bothering Hammerstone because in his mind it's his year. That's what 2018 was, not Chris Bey's. Big chop out of Chris Bey, but Hammerstone Ready for more, it looks like. But so's Chris Bey.
And right now, it looks like Hammerstone getting a little frustrated.
A violent shot out of Hammerstone floors Chris Bey.
And look at that, Bey rearranging his jaw at the moment.
And Chris Bey just ate it, and it looks like he wants more from the champ.
And Chris Bey, I'm not sure that's the smartest move.
He wants the best the champion has to offer. And the champion taking the best the challenger has to offer.
You know, he's that big, lanky left-hander who fires away. And there's a lot on those Bey punches.
Well, Chris Bey now threw together those strikes, but Hammerstone cuts him off. Oh, no!
And Bey connects with the big boot. Oh, and look at that. Hammerstone right to the jaw.
And Hammerstone trying for the power bomb. Chris Bey escapes again, sends Hammerstone to a knee for a second there, brings him down this time. But Hammerstone muscling up Chris Bey at this point, showing off his great strength. But Chris Bey brings him over with a Hurricane Rana.
And we saw that Butataya and the release German suplex, and look at this.
Power bomb, all impact on that one.
And Chris Bey is in big trouble.
Oh no! Flipping pile driver out of Chris Bey.
Out of nowhere, a move of desperation, the Canadian Destroyer from Chris Bey.
And both men are down now, having busted out their heavy artillery. Who's going to get up first, champion or challenger? Definitely a far more competitive matchup than we saw last year between these two men. Chris Bey is stirring first, but he's actually distancing himself from the champion right now.
And who has got what's left in the tank? Chris Bey, a guy who wrestled 30 minutes earlier in the evening.
The champion is still down while Chris Bey slowly tries to get to the top. But here comes the champion, and he flares him off. And almost takes out referee Austin Grimes.
And Hammerstone's got him up.
And that was almost how he
the small package.
That was what he used to defeat Chris Bey last year. You guys saw, and that time Austin Grimes gets caught. And the referee has been taken down. And this is where Hammerstone's gonna take his shortcuts with no one watching him. And that suplex right into that Uranagi, but we have no official. The same move he used to defeat Chris Bey last year. And the against all odds in the title match. What the hell? It's John Morrison. A little payback from Morrison for what Hammerstone did to Taya.
John Morrison. What is going on?
Well, Hammerstone definitely had that coming, but we have no referee.
And listen to the crowd.
And Chris Bey sees the opportunity. Chris Bey going up top.
Will he hit it?
Frog splash!
1, 2, 3. History is made here inside Sam's Town Live. The Mecca Grand Champion John Morrison shows up out of nowhere and takes out Hammerstone, allowing Chris Bey to become the heavyweight champion. The crowd was in stunned disbelief. They had to take a second look. It's like, is that John Morrison?
Yeah, exactly. They were almost stunned to see Morrison. They didn't realize what was going on. But what they see now is the new world champion. This is a man who almost 3 years ago journeyed all the way across the country to follow a dream. And now he stands atop of the mountain in Las Vegas as the FSW heavyweight champion.